They say it's better late than never when it comes to actually getting into things, and this is going to be no exception. Bushido BOYZ versus Peaker's Advantage. We're just going to jump straight into things. It's actually 1-0 Peaker's Advantage, just having won the pistol round. And honestly, they seem to be struggling with this first round right off the bat, so already a little bit of a struggle for them. But it seems like Bushido BOYZ will be exterminated for round number 2 at last, as it's only Shonk and Picky alone here. Not a lot of HP between the two, and goes down to 0 as Sempis gets his pick of Picky. Now it's down to a 1-on-3. Shonk is going to have to hit some good shots like that one, for example, but there's still 2 more to go. He has no clue on where the player is, and when he finds out, he quickly loses his life. So that will be 2-0 going the way of Peaker's Advantage. Despite a few hiccups, it seems, they dropped a good amount of players. 3 to be exact, so I don't think it's going to come back and really bite them too hard, but at the same time, that's something you definitely do want to avoid. Having another shot at it will be Bushido BOYZ, but they don't still have a lot to work with when it comes to when it comes to artillery. Just a couple of pistols, and a couple of flashbangs as well. Picky might be leading the charge, as it seems like they want to make a charge towards Monster, but unfortunately action is happening elsewhere here. Cutler is going to be peeking up towards Long after tossing a nice welcoming Molotov. CTs will be rotating in kind all the way back to the A site. Frosty AK and Jonah P is going to be your first respondents. Thing is, for Peaker's Advantage, they still have a massive amount of time for them to safely get into the site, and yeah, they don't seem to struggle at all, only dropping a player throughout that entire ordeal. Mavney Snake with a nice spray transfer at the end, just to flex on them a little bit. But now this is where things start getting serious. Bushido BOYZ will be able to buy up into this one, and that is where Bushido BOYZ are at their scariest. Mavney Snake saying at 6 kills, only 4 rounds into the game if you count this one. Looking to extend that even further. You see an AWP being brought out in the hands of Jonah. Definitely looking to cause some damage. It's interesting also to note that Peaker's Advantage, you're going just kind of as a 5-man train all over towards Long, where none of the CTs are located. Jonah might hear a couple of footsteps, might be wary to it. Semphis in the back just trying to cause a little bit of chaos, but Bushido BOYZ don't seem to want to adjust as a result. The rotates are not there, and that's just going to allow Peaker's Advantage to have the site completely. They know that there has to be one player over towards bathrooms, but that is about where their luck ends. Because even though they've been given the site, Bushido BOYZ have almost nothing to work towards. Drop a player immediately on this retake, and a resmoke goes through over towards Bank, makes things even harder. Shonk is able to get a nice trade out after Semphis causes a little bit of damage, and Picky picks up a kill as well, so it's a 3 versus 3. Not all hope is lost for the Bushido BOYZ just yet, but now Snake gets this kill, which he actually doesn't. This has actually become possible for them. In fact, it's favorable. In fact, they're run away with the round entirely. That was a 5 versus 3, and they still managed to come out on top of that one without dropping a single player at the end of it. Unbelievable play by them for Bushido to pick up their first round of the ESEA MDL Season 32 NA Relegation. Not bad at all. Bushido BOYZ getting out of that in a very healthy fashion as well. Dropping 2 guns. We'll be able to buy up into this one without any worries whatsoever. The money hasn't exactly fully stabilized yet. You have to be scared of that just a little bit. Semphis might be trying to lead the charge here. Davey eats so much damage and in fact gives up his life because of it. And Bushido BOYZ are already looking primed to take this round. It will be a 5 versus 3 this time in favor of the boys. Not a good look for them. There still is a good amount of time on the clock, so, you know, they can play that into their favor. But when you're down 2 men, it just becomes very, very difficult, to say the least. Swisher going for a little bit of complimentary spam over towards Sandbags. For the jump spot over at B. Mavney Snake actually does manage to spot one over towards Long, but is careful not to give up his life until he has a flash to go ahead and peek right behind. Jonah P misses a shot. Mavney Snake stays alive for now. Peaker's Advantage now have a little more space towards bathroom to work with. They might be able to push into this one, but it's still a very tall order for them, especially with an AWP in Jonah P's hands. easily dismember each and every person on the terrorist side. Cutler seems to be wanting to set up for some grenades towards the site. One will go through. No one over towards long. Here comes a push from Peaker's advantage. Jonah P completely blind. Doesn't matter though. It's going to be his teammate actually getting the kill in the end. Jonah P will peek out, lose his life because of it. Maui Snake perfectly pre-aims that, but is not aware of the second player and runs out of bullets when he tries to trade out his teammate, allowing Shunk to pick up a quad kill in that round. Fantastic play from him to secure it in the end for the Bushido boys and not leave them scared. Super interesting to me how... Well, that's actually interesting. Swisher seemed to have had a little bit of a lag spike in that last round. Luckily not calling a pause. But Maui Snake, he's seriously been doing fantastic work from his team early on here. I saw him against Mythic a couple of weeks ago, and he was one of the standout players in that. Even though he has a 100 ping, doesn't seem to make him falter whatsoever. Jonah P and Shock, meanwhile at the A site, seem to be wanting to prod a little bit for information over towards long, but nearly in the entire CT or T offense is over by B, including a potential boost going on here. Maui Snake gets it, tries to peek out barrels, but does not find a single member. Unfortunately, this boost doesn't seem to be bearing many fruits in favor of Peaker's advantage, and they're trying to be very, very quiet as they unmount, which they will do kindly. But they open the door. That alerts the CTs that there's at the very least one player over towards connector, allowing them to possibly rotate. Jonah P nearly loses his life, but luckily Cutler, he needed to go for a pretty great shot to take care of Jonah P. Unfortunately, will not be given the chance, and will not be given the chance for a follow-up either. 40 seconds left to go. It's a 4 versus 5. Surely this is going to be another round going the way of Bushido boys, as we're hopefully going to see them try to even things up here. You see an entry is actually going out towards B. Swisher is leading the charge, but no teammates left behind him. Bushido boys are easily able to dispatch with him. Another one goes down. And Septic finds one, actually makes it a double as well. Doubles up for his trouble. Wants to make it 3 as he peeks over water, but it's Shonk to steal the glory. 2 picks apiece for Shonk and Zeptic here as they make it even. Bushido was free money at plus 143. Peaker all washed up boomers. You know what? Look, I don't want to be partial on this, but I just think Bushido boys are a lot better than I feel like people give them credit for. Maybe they don't have the best track record, but I feel like when some of these players hit their shots, they can be very, very lethal. But it's the same story with Maui Snake as well, as he just looks to enter the B site, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Picks up 2, looks for a 3rd, struggles to get it, and indeed will not in the end. Frost AK barely scraping by. He's bleeding internally though, but he wants to try to deny this bomb plant. He's actually going to be able to get away with a kill. Jonah P is alone. And a 1-on-3 after residual damage from Peaker's advantage starts to set in. Bushido boys left struggling for this round here. Player spotted over towards the pillar at B, but Jonah P will choose not to take the fight. They are for sure, but at the same time though, I totally understand why you would favor Bushido boys in this situation. And Peaker's advantage, yeah, it's just they haven't given me the most promising results. Oh my god, Jonah P, you're playing with fire, maybe literally here, because he's going to be going against the firepower of Cutler and lose the fight. That will allow Peaker's advantage to take back the lead in a dominating fashion. No longer evened up, and no longer allowing Bushido boys to have any space here. They're going to have one more, relatively strong buy. They're going to be able to force up FAMASas and an AWP in Jonah P's hands once again. Half armor across the board, with the exception of the Shonk as well. Peaker's advantage going for a strange, or actually a very nice default, where they're immediately going to be pushing into water. Zeptic spots one, will soon back off though, and that grenade is meaty. Takes Sempis and Davey down to only 103 HP between the two, excuse me. But this is a very telegraphed play over towards B, and they're going to give up so much information, excuse me, and so many picks as well. The only peaks that seem to be going well for them is Swisher finding 3 as they all line up for him over towards water, making things even despite the heroics of Jonah P. It's pretty insane, but this went from a almost guaranteed round for Bushido BOYZ to a very scary one at that. Luckily, Swisher, their murderer in arms, has finally been taken down, leaving it up to Cutler alone. As they double peek over towards Monster, Cutler might be given a fight that he wants as he retrieves a bomb. But now he has to cross here. So at the very least, they will be able to exchange bullets at least once. He's just trying to play the timeout here, and it worked out perfectly in his favor! Did they not know he was there or something? What is that? Cutler basically gifted the 1 versus 2 as Peaker's advantage go up on 5. That was absolutely something that Cutler should not have been given the chance to win. I don't know why he struggled, and just like the hesitation on the second player just allowed Semfis to line up the free shot. It's a confusing round, but it's a round that Bushido BOYZ practically gave away at the end of things. It was in part thanks to Swisher with that fantastic triple that he got, but Semfis is the one to finish up the job. Pistols for Bushido BOYZ. Davey looks to collect some money in his pocket. Towards blue, spots quite a few pistols. That's going to go ahead and immediately initiate the push for the T's, most likely here. Jonah P forced to back off, give up his space. It's a massacre over towards Monster. 1 player drops, but 2 shed a little bit of blood as well. Swisher isn't doing very healthy either. He's nearly losing the gunfight to that USP. The trades do, in the end, seem to be going in favor of Peaker's advantage, but at the very least, Septic will have a gun to work with. It's an AK, most likely just going to try to save this, surely. There's almost no reason why he should go for this, but he might be able to pick up another gun if he gets lucky. Overall, though, not a lot to write home about. It's minimal damage. The only player that went down on the side of Peaker's advantage was one that still found a kill throughout the entire duration of the round. Excuse me. Shank will look a little bit for an exit kill, but won't be granted it. I guess he's trying to save that USP. Peaker's advantage. They're coming after him, though. They want this USP, apparently, though. Davey is just pushing right in, hungry for blood. He is going to be satiated. 3-6. Bushido BOYZ not looking fantastic right now as Peaker's advantage are able to get another one on the board. That was not a convincing eco whatsoever. They only managed to drop 1 player, forcing him to buy up, but still, it's a healthy economy for Peaker's advantage. Gonna be at the very least guaranteed 1 more buy, even if they lose this round in a devastating fashion. Bar them all, you know, dying in a Molotov play through or something. I can't see any extenuating circumstances that allow that to happen. But Maui Snake going down immediately is a perfect start for Bushido BOYZ to go ahead and potentially even things up. Swisher will quickly dash their hopes away a little bit, but Jonah P is still lurking in this back line. If they don't check for him, he has the potential to go off. Unfortunately, doesn't win that first gunfight favorably, and Davey will go ahead gladly chase after him, making another frag in favor of Peaker's advantage, officially taking the lead. Not only in rounds, obviously, but in men. Rotate slowly, starting to come over towards A, but it might be too little too late. Zeptic and Picky have doubled up. But since Peaker's advantage have access to the entire site, they could be in any spot by now. Bomb will get planted. As Picky and Zeptic still together look to go out towards the bank together. A date on the A site. Semfis is not aware of it. They're trying to take these gunfights over towards long, but Semfis, he's still in a perfect location, but he has an MP5 in hand, and he stutters almost as much as I stuttered over my words. Swisher and Cutler now left alone. Over towards short, the 2 of them. They just very quickly lose those gunfights, and that was a very strange one from Peaker's advantage. I almost guaranteed that to be a kill in favor of Semfis. I cannot believe he managed to lose those duels. I was not ready for that conclusion whatsoever, and I, looked like a bumbling fool while doing it. Bushido BOYZ are going to be given a 4th round on the board now as things inch ever closer to an even game. Both teams will have 1 more buy up here, but this is going to be an important round for their economy. Whoever loses this will most likely have to save at least one more. And if this round goes away of Bushido Boys, surely they're going to be able to even things up. If it goes the way of Peaker's advantage, they are going to be able to extend a very monumental lead on the T side of Overpass. It's not off to a good start though, as Maui Snake, in addition to getting tagged down, has also had his teammate fall. That's Semphis. Interesting positions. You notice Cutler is pushing up towards long all by his lonesome. And perfectly placed Shank might be his demise in the end. Looks over towards long, has to shoot through his teammate to get the job done, but Jonah P manages to stay alive thanks to Shank. And Cutler has disconnected from the game. Most likely going to be seeing a technical pause for this one here. It's not that this was looking favorable for Peaker's advantage in the first place, so it's a 4-on-2 nonetheless. As Maui Snake or Davey are going to have to pull off some heroics. That's a pretty damn good start. Unfortunately, suffocated almost immediately afterwards. Maui Snake is going to be alone now. 1-on-3. No reason not to play it slow. Cutler has finally made his way back into the server, so no technical pause surely will be needed. 20 seconds to work with. Not a lot is going the way of Maui Snake right now. He's going to desperately just try to sprint his way over to the bomb site. Maybe get a bomb plant. Actually, he might be given a bomb plant almost entirely because there's no one for Bushido Boys. What is this? Why is no one there? He's not going to go for the bomb plant. What is it? Okay, Maui Snake, I guess, is just perfectly fine saving his gun, but he could have easily gone for a bomb plant there. It would have been an extra $300 in his pocket, plus force the situation for Bushido Boys. That actually might have been winnable. They're the ones playing an MDL relegation, not me, so I guess he had a reason for doing that. He didn't have time to clear the site, but still, might have been better just to try to get the bomb down. The money isn't going to look fantastic on Peaker's advantages side. They're going to go back to the regular default, trying to take some of that early water control, but this time they're going to try a new addition of getting a lot of mid control. 2 players over towards water. That's going to be Maui Snake and Swisher. The bomb in the former's hand. And Semphis has actually made his way into water completely undetected. That gives him a little bit of wiggle room to play with here, but it doesn't matter anyway because all of his teammates will fall right around him over at mid. And Semphis, in shock and awe, won't have a chance either. 6-6 is all evened up here early on overpasses. Bushido Boys seem to be mounting something of a formidable CT half now. They struggled on the first part of this half, but seem to have stabilized. Thanks in part to the phenomenal mid defense seen last round. Peaker's advantage don't have a ton of money to work with here, as they seem to want to go ahead and try to up the pace, up the ante a little bit. But warded off by a Molotov, Semphis will still seek a little bit of information since he's leading the charge, if just a bit. He's gotten a lot of mid or long control. So that works out in Peaker's advantage favor just a little bit. There's a player over on the A site all alone. Shank is just going to be spotting people most likely. Such is life as the A anchor. Rotate will be coming over, and that's Frost AK. And surely Bushido Boys have to know at this point that Peaker's advantage don't exactly have the healthiest economy in the world. And they're most likely just going to try to up the pace. Shank, if it wasn't given away already, we'll hear plenty of footsteps coming through. Frost AK will actually pick up a double. Shank is now looking to get his just desserts as well, but Frost AK still on the board, still kicking, but will eventually get kicked in the end. Bomb is planted. At the very least, this is relatively good for Peaker's advantage. The fact that they at least got that minimal amount of money down as well gives them a little bit of something to work with in the next round. Jonah P is going to go ahead, defuse the bomb. It's not the end of the world, though, for Peaker's advantage. The fact that they managed to get a gun out of the hand of Frost AK as well is a pretty good look for them as we enter the latter part of this half. 7-6, Bushido Boys have officially taken back the lead. This time it's on CT overpass. I'm not sure whose map pick this actually was. I will check after this game most likely. Here's Advantage just seem to want to quickly bring things in towards B. Two players are doubled up here, and Septic to find the first, nearly gets the second one as well. As Semphis is dangerously low. He's bleeding internally, and the rotate can still easily come through from Bushido Boys. Davey strikes back with one, and a immediate grenade makes things a little bit sweeter. This is now going to be an absolute slugfest to the very end, because bomb is planted for Peaker's Advantage, and since they have that man advantage as well, things are only looking more and more favorable for them. Molotov goes through, and really, Peaker's Advantage are just giving Bushido Boys no chance on this retake, as they just seem to stifle every chance to get into the site whatsoever. They'll be happy saving their guns as we enter the last round of the half here. Shank and Frost AK, M4 apiece. Maybe trying to do a little more damage. You see Shank is actually kind of hungry for more. They're checking all the angles and will not oblige the hungry CTs, as things are all evened up 7-7. That was a really good take onto the B site from Peaker's Advantage. Fast to the point and got all the kills they needed and completely zoned them out. My voice is soothing. Hey, thank you so much, Teacher Wish. And incoming Impact, you're welcome so much for streaming. I was originally going to be doing the IEM Katowice qualifiers, but I didn't realize they weren't public IPs. And I looked like a dumbass and got caught out by a mod. But I'm perfectly happy to do this game instead, because it seems to be a pretty good one so far. What is this? I like that spot from Jonah P over towards blue, by the way. I didn't exactly give it the credit it deserves, but Shank boosted him up so he could see through the window and into Monster. Speaking of which, he will go back to that position, but just take it from a different angle. Swisher and Maui Snake, interestingly enough, are both pushing up towards long. Nearly made their way to the A bomb site without making more than a peek. Frost AK, though, he's aware of it and will peek out. Maybe spotted the bomb and going to be trying to drag some rotations over right now. Picky running with his knives out. Won't be there in time to stop the inevitable push, as Cutler actually is the one to pop off massively. What is that? That was over towards short, was it? I believe. It's just to find a two-piece, completely zoned Bushido Boys, but they have to commit to this retake, if nothing else. It's the last round of the half, and even though they aren't seeming favored for it, they have to go ahead and give it their best shot. But they don't seem to be hitting the shots that they need. Frost AK is going to be left alone to do this all by himself, and he actually finds two. No utility to work with, and surely this is the end of time for him. They could just easily double commit to this, double peek to this. And Frost AK, yeah, he even realizes it's a done deal. That will be 8-7. Peaker's Advantage will squeak it out right at the end. And not a bad start for them. I want to keep in mind that this is also the pick of Peaker's Advantage, excuse me. So the fact that they have put up a pretty strong T-side half like that is very, very formidable and doesn't exactly spell good things for the Bushido Boys as they now head on to the T-side for themselves. Peaker's Advantage now no longer have to deal with the burden of trying to take sites in any sort of crazy complicated way. Try playing more defensively here, and personally I think that seems to favor Peaker's Advantage more. They've already impressed on Overpass, and they're looking to continue that streak here. Bushido Boys obviously looking to stop it. It's not going to be off to a good start, though. It's a complete this water control from Peaker's Advantage. I love this, though. Bushido Boys have no idea what to do against it. They dropped two players trying to figure out a solution. But at that time, Peaker's Advantage have already been able to rotate. Septic and Frost AK will be left alone. Leave it all up to Frost AK, excuse me, because his teammate drops quickly. The pistol seems to be relatively lethal. Tags one down and takes down another player. This has actually become winnable for Frost AK, and since he has a smoke in hand, you can actually see a potential bit more damage going through. The main challenge is completely taken care of, neutralized in fact, as Semphis immediately domed with that Glock, and it's Cutler alone will come up right behind him, assassinate him, but only had 5 HP at the end of that endeavor. That was dangerously close from swinging the other way entirely. But in the end, Peaker's Advantage will come out on top. Bushido Boys don't seem to want to buy into this one here, despite the economy not looking too favorable from Peaker's Advantage just yet. They don't want to force their hand. They know that they aren't exactly favored for this. Early utility goes ahead and gives them a healthy amount have B control, but all the action is happening elsewhere for Bushido Boys as they drop a player in Davey. Jonah P stuck on a single point of health. Very minimal investment from the boys as well, if you notice. Only one player buying a flashbang, and that was in the hand of Frost AK. Having second thoughts about where they want to go here, though, Bushido Boys. They seem to want to completely circle back. Jonah P is alone at long, but I think it'll be a while before his flank starts bearing some fruits. Bushido Boys have completely slowed down the pace. They feel no pressure right now. As they slowly take backyard, want to extend their reach. Sempis spots one over towards water. Will quickly rotate, toss out a nice little complimentary flashbang as well. Almost letting them know that, hey, we know exactly where you are and we're going to dismantle you one by one here. It seems to be no problem for all the T's, excuse me, as Shank struggles to get the kill. In the end, Cutler will clean everything up. Not a bad play by them whatsoever, though, Bushido Boys. They managed to get a gun out of their hands and actually got a second one as well. Unfortunately, not able to save them, but it damages the economy just a little bit for Peaker's advantage. And when it comes to a round like this, it starts paying its dividends. You see that Maui Snake is stuck on an MP9. Sempis still on his MP5 shenanigans. Both of them have just yet to upgrade. Probably because he didn't have the money to do it. They could go for FAMASs if they want to, but I guess they seem to want to test their luck versus the Bushido Boys. They have a 10-7 lead. Could easily give up one if he felt like it. Big control taken. Zeptic is completely caught off guard. He's still actually able to find a kill. Unfortunately, not traded out. Swisher will go ahead, try to do the job that his teammate couldn't, and get away with it. He does that just fine. Shank and Jonah P are pushing up towards long. Meanwhile, the rest of the Bushido Boys are just trying to retrieve that bomb and get to that place safely. Boys will try to take the site. They're doing a contact play here, and that might work out favorably for Davey here as he takes the fight but loses it, and Jonah P's able to get another. Peaker's advantage have all the disadvantages right now as they're forced. Well, actually, they might not even want to go for this retake whatsoever as they're already looking so far out of it. Bushido Boys have taken the site, winning both the gunfights that they needed to crack that A site wide open. Just like that, it might be a done deal. Bomb planted and strong post plants as well. It's not a favorable combination for the CTs. So they'll be perfectly content just trying to save their guns. As it will be another one to tick off for Bushido Boys here. 10-8 will be the scoreline that we're staring down the barrel of. And it's not exactly a friendly one for Peaker's advantage as well. They'll only be keeping 2 guns into this. One on Maui Snake, the other on Swisher. But the money isn't going to look fantastic. They're going to be getting 1,400 apiece on the CT side, which is going to be hardly enough for them to work with. Bushido Boys are sitting pretty, though. After the bomb explosion, they'll have about... Well, actually, their lowest player will have 3,000, but even he has a gun to work with already. They'll buy up what they need, but they're still going to be healthy for most likely another round. Peaker's advantage, though, they're struggling. They're going down to the bare minimums here. Maui Snake is going to be the one leading the charge, has an AK in hand, plus a good amount of utility. First smoke will go down over towards mid. The action is happening over towards B, which is something that you've been able to say a lot about the Bushido Boys, and it seems to be working out just damn fine for them. Frost AK entering in will find one. Cutler hit all the nice shots you want. It won't be enough to go ahead and drag your team back into this round. Sempis will eventually, and very quickly, excuse me, be left to his own devices, as he'll have to pull off a play worthy of device to go ahead and put things back in the favor of his team. But he has a lot of utility to work with and half armor, plus a scout. Surely he's not going to go for this. His best bet at this point would just be maybe trying to pick up a gun of one of his fallen comrades. If he could get the gun that Maui Snake or Swisher had, that would be pretty great. That M4, perhaps. But it's not looking favorable for Sempis here. He doesn't have a defuse kit, so he's already not going to be going for the defuse or a ninja of any sort. Perhaps just trying to catch someone out off guard, but they're exiting safely. They're going to be going through Monster. That's going to be another one for Bushido Boys, as they don't give Sempis anything in this post plant. All seems to be looking good for the Bushido boys as we start the T side. As Peaker's advantage, they're scrambling to even get a strong economy together. This is surely going to be a 10th round and an even scenario between the two teams. This time we have to rely on the magic of Sempis. See quite a few players towards Peaker's advantage come through. Maui Snake is going to be ready to snatch that gun away from Sempis in case he falls in battle. Another player doubled up towards bathrooms as well. Bushido boys have taken this very slow. Not to a fault whatsoever as well. They're being very meticulous with this. Davey, he's in a scary position. Gets away with his life for now. That's a little bit of information scout that most likely Bushido boys are just trying to take some information. They have Zeptic to ward off any people who are going to be trying to lurk around, but Sempis is still on the board. He's still lurking around. Maui Snake trades a little bit of damage with Zeptic, but he gets the short end of the stick, as Zeptic still remains map controls solidly in favor of Bushido boys. But Peaker's advantage, they want to capitalize on something here. Zeptic might have spotted Cutler's head. Indeed he did. Takes care of him just fine. And already not looking fantastic for Peaker's advantage here. Gonna have to pull off something magical, and I don't think Bushido boys want to give that up whatsoever. They haven't checked for Davey just yet, but surely Frost AK is gonna do the job. Indeed he does. Quick few shots to the body and one to the head. We'll go ahead, clean things up. And it's another done deal. No kits to work with either. Peaker's advantage almost completely zoned out of this one. They haven't been able to even find a single kill. Swisher is gonna be looking for an aggressive exit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sempis were to do the same. His team is going to be getting 2,400 for this loss, so I guess he just wants to try his luck with a scout. Swisher, not given much of a chance. His teammate is the one to close out the deal in the end, but it's a messy affair, to say the least, as Sempis struggles to get out alive and indeed will not succeed. It's all evened up here, 10-10, as Bushido boys have managed to mount something pretty nice. They're looking absolutely stacked. Their money is incredible right now. They can buy Gucci jeans if they wanted to. They don't have to worry whatsoever. We've seen a lot of that playground control be seized early on from Bushido boys, and it seems that this is no different. Jonah P will quickly make it his home. And look at this, some interesting aggression from Peaker's advantage. Jonah P punishes it perfectly, though. Looks like just in time, and he actually doubles up for his trouble. Takes down Davey as well. And this has already gone from bad to worse in a moment's notice, as Peaker's advantage are now stuck in at a man disadvantage, excuse me. Zeptic, he's hungry for more and might get it. Peeking over towards water. Zeptic doesn't win the fight, but Cutler will. The veteran shows a bit of skin in the end, but it might be too little too late, at least for this round, as Bushido boys are looking primed to take back that lead. It's either going to be down to one of the two veterans, Sempis or Cutler. Take your pick. Neither of them have a favorable chance of putting this round back in their favor, but we've seen Bushido boys give up rounds like this before. It's not all out of the woods just yet, especially since they're in relatively sneaky positions. For example, Sempis, he's pushing up over towards blue, and Picky isn't ready for it. He's able to get a free frag. Cutler doesn't have the best luck, though. He will fall, leaving it all up to Sempis now. If Peaker's advantage loses this, they're going to have the max loss bonus. So Sempis, he might want to try his fortune at this. It's still going to be a risky gamble if you do or don't. I think Sempis realizes that as well. He doesn't have a kit nor any utility, which is not a desirable combo if you want to go ahead and put the round back in your team's favor. Because of that, he's going to have to give up the round and give up the lead that Peaker's advantage were working so hard towards, that they mounted, only finding 2 rounds on the CT side so far. Bushido boys looking fantastic early on the T side of Overpass here. Terrorists win. The second half is all the boys right now. But Peaker's advantage, they will struggle to even get into this round as well. Their economy has seriously been in shambles. Even when they had a good chance on that gun round, it just I don't know. It just didn't work out for them whatsoever. Down to the scraps again we go. As you see, the CTs most likely are going to be trying for some more aggressive positioning. Swisher over towards barrels. I believe he's jump spotting for a place over towards CT. No, he's just looking for some early smoke utility, or excuse me, from early telegraphed smokes, excuse me. It's a 3-person setup for the CTs here. Bushido boys are being careful and very meticulous on how they take this site. They have 2 players coming in from water. Another CT starts sneaking their way in. This has actually become a little bit dangerous for Bushido boys here. As Frosted K is able to secure that first frag, he'll also pick up a second one. That's for Picky this time around. Cutler will finally respond back. He makes a little bit of noise while doing it. And actually, oh my god, Swisher, he's actually managed to find another one as well. This has actually become possible for Peaker's advantage. It didn't seem like it at one point, but Swisher, he's still staying alive and he's still doing damage. He's tagged Jonah P and Zeptic down to very low HP indeed. But Chunk goes ahead and tries to keep his team alive. It's going to have to be a miraculous effort, a triple kill round from Cutler if he wants to go ahead and even things up, but it's not looking likely. Indeed, it will not happen. Bushido boys have a little bit of scare, in that round as they drop 3 guns. Peaker's advantage, because of that healthy round that they managed to garner last time, will be granted a little more buying power. Maui Snake and Semphis picking up the AWPs. Classic double ops setup. I want to see if Semphis has any crazy plans for this. It looks like he wants to go for an early blue peek. Won't be given anything though. Bushido boys, oh, they're going for the 4-man stack. Who's on top? Who's on top this time? Jonah P, it seems to be. Guess that makes sense, the opper, right? Hasn't, oh my god, he nearly spotted a player rotating over towards A. That could have been miraculous, but unfortunately it's not meant to be. The boost has been completely disregarded, as Maui Snake actually managed to get a lot of information over towards water as well. He might have some semblance of an idea that Bushido boys were going for something sneaky, as the CTs have now gotten a little more aggressive positions, but I'm still most interested in Maui Snake. Deal's going to have to deal with the brunt of this push. Deals with the first one just fine, but not the second. Quickly traded out will be him. Swisher is now going to have to be the next one to respond to everybody here. He's going to meet them into his his warm welcoming arms. I can't talk. 3 versus 4. Bushido boys seem to be struggling on the B site so far. They get the trades that they need, and in fact, go even bigger. Frost AK has been a monumental figure for his team, as Swisher is going to be stuck to do it alone. He finds the first just fine, struggles on the second. It's a battle of David and Goliath right now. Swisher turns out to be the David in this situation. The next map is going to be Mirage, and the third will be Inferno if it gets to that point. Rebelza. I like that. Bushido boys, they definitely struggled a lot in that round. They dropped quite a good number of guns, in all honesty. All trying to secure that one in the end, but it's a round win nonetheless, so you have to be at least happy a little bit for that, because they're inching ever closer and closer to closing out this game. Semphis goes down first off, and it's already good headlines for Bushido boys. Peaker's advantage lost. Their economy has been in shambles for so long now, it feels like, that they aren't able to piece together another buy. That double AWP, it didn't really work out for them as they expected. Maui Snake now has downgrade to Scout. Isn't able to find anything towards mid, as he will soon back up. Super passive position, so from Bushido boys. Look at this. 2 players down towards long. Jonah P, where does that smoke go? Is that a bank smoke that I've just never seen? No, it isn't. That is a aggressive long smoke. Ooh, Davey. The timing just not in his favor. Shank quickly domes down one of the vets. This is not going to be a 3 versus 5. Only one piece of utility, a single flashbang between the 3 members. They're going to have to share because they can't divide this up. Swisher's in a sneaky position. So that's something to work with, but Shank is also in one. He's just clearing out this A site, being very meticulous with it. Maui Snake actually backs off his position. He might have made a little bit of noise while doing it as well. That might give a little bit of forewarning for the members of Bushido BOYZ as they enter the way into the B site. Shank finds a kill onto Maui Snake over at the A site. Swisher left alone. He's going to have to go massive. He finds one, isn't able to do any more miraculous actions, though, as he drops eventually. 14-10, Bushido BOYZ looking incredible, indomitable. And Peaker's advantage, they're going to have one more good buy into this. It's going to be a rough, no matter how you slice it. Or in the case of Davey, however, you splice it. Aggressive double, or actually double peek over towards mid with these AWPs. Okay, never mind. Symphysis has decided to go the bottom route. But this is a very important round for Peaker's advantage to win, because it's this or you're most likely going to be giving up the game, and it's not off to a great start. They drop one, traded out quickly by Semifinals, so at least those AWPs are finding some use early on in this round. But it's still even. Swisher has gotten into a very sneaky position though, and this could be exactly what the doctor ordered to keep them in this game. Septic checking for it. He'll take that first frag, but won't take the second one. Davey, unfortunately, unable to receive the tease alongside. Will be stuck alone in an anti-flash position. He peeks out and just barely gets away with Frost AK's corpse. Shank and Jonah P alone now, 2-on-3. We've seen Peaker's advantage give up rounds like this before. They're not out of the woods just yet, but if Davey gets this kill, which he doesn't, this is now a potential round win for them. It's two AWPs to work with in favor of Peaker's advantage, and Maui Snake missing that first shot. Also on 0 armor, gets tagged down. He's bleeding internally. He's burning alive. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, how they weren't out of the woods just yet, because they lose 2 favorable duels. Because of that, Semifinals now has to go massive to keep his team in this one. Otherwise, they're going to be staring down the barrel of 5 match points. Semifinals might have spotted someone over towards pit. At least got the comms on that. But I think they're aware of it, Bushido BOYZ, and they're being careful in the fights that they take. Jonah P spots out the player over towards heaven. Will go for a repeat, but misses both shots, interestingly enough. Semifinals back against the wall. He's just going to go ahead, trying to save that AWP for the next rainy day here. But this is the end of the line. There's no more saving at this point. Whatever they have now, they have to go ahead and save. It's not looking pretty for them. They'll have a single sniper in their bullets, or excuse me, in their hands rather. Bushido BOYZ looking primed to take the map pick of Peaker's advantage here as we inch ever closer and closer to the finish line. They don't have a strong economy to possibly close things out with. Maui Snake, actually he managed to grab an M4, but it's double FAMASas, half armor nearly across the board. Bushido BOYZ though, they're looking healthy, they're looking stacked. Jonah P has nearly 16k to work with here. They're just going to up the ante completely here. It doesn't work out though. Swisher only able to get one here. Cutler now will do his best to try to make things a bit sweeter for his team. Maui Snake doesn't have much better luck either. Semifinals, he's actually starting to wake up a little bit. Finds a double, leading up to Zeptic. 1-on-3. Finds the first without any trouble, but the second one is a real problem, but he still comes out on top. It's favorable duel after favorable duel for Bushido BOYZ right now, and they're just going to easily capitalize on those. Now it's Semifinals alone, down from a 1-on-3 into a 1-versus-1. Not only has this become possible for Bushido BOYZ, but I'd argue almost favorable, because time is perfectly in the favor of Bushido. Semifinals has possibly every tool that he could hope for here, minus the fact that he doesn't have a smoke. He's not watching the right area. Zeptic is just going to be perfectly fine playing this clock out as much as he can. He knows that this last player does have an AWP, and he hears a Molotov go out. That's so much information given. Zeptic now has advanced warning on where Semifinals could possibly be here. They're dancing around each other, I think it just might favor Semphis in the end here. Oh my god, the timing is not in their favor. Zeptic might have just won this for his team, though. He's looking the wrong way for the both of them as well. Semphis tries taking the shot. He blows his load too early. What is this, Semphis? He uses a pistol, and because of that, Zeptic is able to retrieve the bomb. This is a nightmare. Peaker's advantage. Oh my god, Zeptic. What is this? Zeptic closes it out 16-10. A 1-on-3 at the very end of things. That was just hideous from Peaker's advantage. They give up their map pick just like that. Because of that, we will be heading to Mirage. At the very least, we were going to be seeing 2 maps, but that is a round that they should have definitely not given up. It was looking in their favor for nearly that entire time, but it's thrown away in a moment's notice after they take unfavorable duel after unfavorable duel. There's only so much that Semphis could do. But he even uses P2000 just a bit too early and ended up giving his position away, allowing Zeptic to completely line up that shot for free. And just like that, Bushido BOYZ are able to steal the map pick of Peaker's advantage, 16-10, looking favorable as we head into Mirage. We are going to be heading to a quick break real quick before we head into map number 2. My name has been Ito, and hey, if you guys have a Twitch Prime, don't be afraid to use it. I would be happy to receive it. If not, we'll see you guys soon.
I'm cold, steel stainless. My glass Live 17 floors up, and when it rains, I can feel those drops in my window pane. Lets me know that I'm still here. When the sun comes out, I will go outside. When it breaks through clouds, I will give a smile. Lets me know that I'm still here. Sometimes I want to run away, run away, to find good times again, to find all my old friends. Times I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again, and good times. I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again, and I live 17 floors up, and when I cry, I can see the city through my watered eyes. Lets me know that I'm still here. When my eyes clear up, I will go outside. I'll imagine you're still by my side. Lets me know that I'm still here. Sometimes I want to run away, run away, to find good times again, to find all my...
Map number 2, Peaker's Advantage versus Bushido BOYZ here. Bushido BOYZ stole the map pick for Peaker's Advantage away, just like that. 16-10 was the scoreline at the very end of this. Hey, Boner Commander. First off, really like your name. Second off, I'm happy to cast this. I'm just trying to keep practicing to be a better caster, and, you know, I have to do it game by game. Otherwise, I'm not going to improve at all. Speaking of improving, Peaker's Advantage, they look to improve that scoreline that they posted on Overpass here, because they dropped their map pick and now their back is against a wall. This is for, you know, relegation. I mean, if you lose this, you're going to advance. Like, it's not you'll have another chance. It's you'll be going to advance straight up like that. Maui Snake has no luck immediately with that duel right out of connector. Semphaso has a little bit more fortune, but it's not enough to really grant them more than anything than a single kill here, as it still favors Bushido BOYZ relatively heavily as we enter a post-plant. J-Picky, excuse me, will quickly get a nice plant down, but the trades are still going very, very well for for Bushido BOYZ here, as they eventually come out on top in the very end, making it 2 versus 1. Cutler makes it down to a 1 versus 1, so already a very heads-up play by him. Zeptic will just toy with his food a little bit here before he actually tries to commit, making Cutler think about things a lot here. He doesn't have to have a kit to work with here, so he needs to stick it. And Zeptic quickly will dome him down. P2000 works magic for them. Semphas's gun comes back to bite his teammate in the ass in the end, and Bushido BOYZ will go ahead and make it 1-0. That's honestly a very good start, and just really good play from Bushido BOYZ in particular. Those trades through connector were so strong and allowed them to get the site without dropping really more than a dangerous number of players. I mean, in the end, it did come down to a 1 versus 1, which Zeptic just won by playing very well and safe and over towards connector. But I mean, if the trades didn't go out whatsoever, if the trades didn't go that way, we could have seen a completely different round. Cutler, what are you doing with your smoke out? Unfortunately, was not aware of a player already posted over towards A ramp. Will lose his life just as quickly. Now, already a very tough situation for Peaker's Advantage to be in. Zeptic actually manages to lose his life, he's trying to peek for a bit too much, but Picky surely is going to go ahead and try to clean things up here as the CTs try to actually push into the site immediately here. It's going to be good for quite a few kills. It's a 3 versus 1 at the end of this ordeal. Swisher, he's going to be going ahead, keeping his teammates safe while they go ahead and try to defuse the bomb, but Frost AK's position is completely given up, and it's a free 10-second defuse for Maui Snake here, as Peaker's Advantage will steal it right back for them. No problem for them whatsoever on that retake. The force works out perfectly for them despite the initial kills going the way of Bushido boys, and because of that, they're not going to have the healthiest economy to work with, the boys. They're going to put up whatever they possibly can, but it's not going to look pretty. In fact, they're not even going to bother. Most likely just going to be going for a full Glock buy. Yeah, they want a 4th round buy to be very healthy here, so they're not going to invest more than anything other than a couple of flashbangs. Froste will be going ahead, trying to entry frag, but has second thoughts about doing it. Doesn't want to walk into the living death trap that is the B-bomb site. I like this position, though. All the T's. Bushido boys, they stormed their way out onto site. Davey, he's going to have to try to deal with this, but it's his teammates that are stepping up for the job massively. It feels like Davey's just on the sidelines while his team pick up kill after kill. Davey will chime in with a mag 7 kill in the very end of that. Get $900 to line his pockets with in the end. But it's another clean sweep for Peaker's advantage as they deal with that push from Bushido boys rather handily. It's no problem for them. Davey's still pretty okay with keeping his current gun situation, it seems. Davey, I'm not sure what that smokes, but I'm curious to find out. I believe that smokes deep apartments. Oh, wow, that smokes the B execute. I love that. That could allow Davey to potentially take some aggressive apartments control, which he will indeed do. But he's making a lot of noise while doing this, and surely Bushido boys are going to be ready for it, but they're not ready for this duel over by Catwalk, in which Maui Snake is able to find one before getting quickly traded out, and their B defense is starting to crumble one by one as they're finding all the frags that they could possibly hope for. Jonah P is going massive with the Krieg, and immediately going to be forcing a tough situation for Peaker's advantage here as they get the bomb down. First map was very weird. I thought the PA boys were pulling a 320. Well, okay. There was some very strange plays at the very end of this, but hopefully they aren't going full 322 on us. Yeah, that would have led to another 5 players not seeing the light of a major ever again. Peaker's advantage, just gonna go ahead and try to save their guns. I mean, okay, honestly, just to think back, like, just before I finished my point, yeah, the very end of Overpass was so weird. Like, that 3 versus 1 that Zeptic got, the first kill, you know, he just, you know, he played that very well. It was just kind of a trade frag. But the second and the third, both of those were really worrying and not something you should ever give up. It's something I'm going to have to look back on, and Zeptic can look back on as well. Probably a little more fondly than anyone on Peaker's advantage could. He smokes out. Lots of util usage from the CTs. As Swisher wants to go for aggressive mid play here. I think Zeptic will be perfectly ready for it. Indeed, he is not. Caught off guard just like that. Bushido boys now desperately look to even up the advantage here, as Davey will have to deal with the brunt of the push as it enters the B site, but they're not checking all their angles. Doesn't matter when they're going to get all the kills like that, aren't they? Maui Sneak still goes massive over towards Cat. That's one angle they have yet to clear out, and you can see the dead chat is just popping off for Bushido boys right now. You can tell how frustrated they are about that, and it's totally understandable why. They kind of threw that chance to get onto the B-bomb site for free completely. Maui Snake and Swisher combined to ace the entire team together, and it will be another on the board for Peaker's advantage here as they take the lead early on Mirage, map number 2. And really, that's just a good start that Peaker's advantage need. They had a really good start when they were on the T side of Overpass, but really struggled to get anything for the CT side to go their way whatsoever here. Bushido boys stuck on pistols this time around. They didn't exactly impress me with any crazy strats last time we saw them stuck on pistols. So I'm imagining it's going to be a similar situation because Peaker's advantage, even though they're in aggressive positions, surely the trade kills will be good enough for them. Semphis is in a bit of a risky scenario here. He's stuck in Sandwich. Bushido boys bringing the bomb slowly over to the A. Bomb site will most likely be their final destination. Peaker's advantage yet to rotate all their members over, but they have 3, which should be good enough to deal with the entire cavalry that Bushido boys have to offer. Shot, that's actually a very nice shot with the Desert Eagle. Jonah P will upgrade to a P250. The trades aren't all too bad, all things considering. If Jonah P has the potential to get a bomb plant here, that would be huge. Unfortunately, he decides to get off it because he knew his life was probably nearing its end relatively soon, and that'll be another clean round for Peaker's advantages, which is exactly what they need on Mirage here, to be totally honest. They struggled a lot on the CT side of Overpass, only garnering 2 rounds at the very end of things. They ended Overpass 8-7 in their favor, going on to the more favorable half. I mean, just looking at artillery, you'd have to give the favor to them, give the edge to them, but they seem to already be a little more awake on Mirage. Map pick of their enemies. At the very least, they control the early game here. Bushido BOYZ now have some more guns to work with. Strength in numbers, perhaps, but it's already not a good outlook for them. Swisher pushes up slowly through mid and drops a player. We'll soon discover the bomb as well, but I'm not sure if he'll discover Shunk. Swisher is now kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he gets crushed by the hard place as Froste quickly evens things up for his team. No one else on Peaker's advantage has dared to move a step. Cutler and Semphis are securely holding down the A site, though, ready to snuff out anything Bushido BOYZ have ready to go, but I'm a little bit worried for Cutler's position this time around. This is surely a one-and-done position, and it could spell disaster for them on the A bomb site. You still have a player in Picky lurking, but everyone is prepping elsewhere. Seeing up smokes. Cutler hears the nades go off here. He's going to be trying to drag some rotations over. Maui Snake knives out as he rotates over. We'll have to deal with a push here, but Bushido BOYZ are being very slow with it, and they haven't checked for Cutler's position as he picks up a double. Fantastic flash from Semphis as well to keep his teammate alive when all hope seemed lost for him. And because of that, that's going to be another clean round for Peaker's advantage. A lot more where that came from, please. Because Picky, he's just going to have to save this AWP for a rainy day. He's going to have no choice in this round other than to do that. Exactly. Peaker's advantage will definitely take rounds like that. Look back on that one, and really, that was so fantastically played by the 2 players over at the A-bomb site. Cutler and Semphis, the 2 vets of this team, if I had to pin down 2. The Maui Snake, I think, has played since, 2007 or something like that. Davey, I mean, he played at a major, and Swisher, honestly, he's the only question mark on this team, but he's been impressing me a lot. He's second highest in kills for his team, if you notice, 7, 3, and 3. He's even picking up a good amount of assists. We see a pause come through. It was just a small tactical one that was most likely the Bushido BOYZ talking about things. They want to, take a little bit of a timeout before things start spiraling out of control, excuse me. But they're going to go for something a little risky here. That AWP that they managed to save from last round is going to be the only gun that they work with. And they're going to be going for a train out towards mid. No luck, though. Maui Snake, the 100 ping warrior, will pick down 2 immediately. 100 ping is no problem for him. As it quickly is put into a 5-on-3. Frost AK has decided to inherit that AWP of his fallen comrade, but Septic has already made his way out towards the A bomb site. This should be a guaranteed bomb plant for them. If he can spot Semphis's position as well, surely he'll be able to capitalize on it, but Semphis, he's now wary to it. They're going to be quickly rotating over to the A site, but Bushido BOYZ, they haven't made their way in, excuse me. Cutler quickly dispatches of 1 member, or at least alerts his position so he can be quickly dispatched of, and there is a follow-up. Frost AK, no armor, and AWP. Most likely just doesn't want to give this into the hands of Peaker's advantage, but he has no choice but to sacrifice it. He'll choose not to pick it up in the very end of things, though, and Peaker's advantage will go up on 6, looking very fine on the CTs, on the CT half so far. And Bushido BOYZ, their economy's looking a little bit better for wear this time around. Their utility might be a little bit low. Picky will go ahead, have to make a sacrifice, as he's stuck with a MAC-10. Now he's Snake. Oh, I love this, so pushing aggressive up towards Cat. Fortunately, not able to find a kill. He was a hero of last round. He might want to recreate history here. Rotates have already come through in the way of Cutler and Semphis towards the A site. Maui Snake will be most likely the 3rd respondent. And what is this? Okay, I've never seen that boost before. That's interesting. Well, it doesn't seem to be working out perfectly in the favor despite the lightning storm happening on the A site. It's Cutler all day, every day. Maui Snake will chime in with a kill of his own, but Jonah P will eventually be left alone to his own devices. 1-on-3. It was just a bit of a slow execute onto the A site, but it was quickly cut out by Cutler going massive. Nice triple from him. Jonah P sprinting over to the opposing bomb site. Most likely he's just going to be trying to save this Krieg. Unless he wants to go for something super sneaky. Jonah P has 9 health in his pockets to work with. Is that where you hold HP? I don't know. Health in pockets. Might be gifted 1 frag free in way of Sempis. But, oh my god. What was Jonah P doing there? Did he just not expect to be seen by Sempis or something? What was that? Okay, well that's another round for Peaker's advantage. Okay, well Bushido boys are gonna be stuck on pistols. Zeptic has the bomb, lagging behind his teammates. Jonah P, this time he's gonna be setting up for something a little more team dependent. Won't be trying to do whatever he was. I guess try to get a knife on Sempis or something. I don't really know what that was, but no 322 action here. Davey keeps things sane, finds one. Maui Snake, fantastic with the rifle, actually picks up another one as well, but loses his life at the hands of a jumping CZ75, and this has actually been made competitive by Bushido boys as they have a real good chance of possibly closing out this round. 2 rifles to work with, and a single flashbang on Picky could allow them to at the very least, secure a bomb plant. Aid comes through, dunks onto Picky, but it's not enough to secure a frag by any means. They have to be very careful about going for this bomb plant, though. They pick up a grenade from a fallen teammate. Sempis quickly domes one, though, leaving it back to Picky. It's a 1-on-2. A little more favorable from last round, and actually made even more favorable. But Cutler, again, keeps things sane for Peaker's advantage. Don't want to give up too many clutch scenarios now. This isn't going to be a repeat of Overpass, hopefully. But Peaker's advantage are just running away with Mirage right now. Considering this is a pick of Bushido boys, I have not been convinced by any of their strats so far. Maybe this will be a nice change of pace. I mean, it feels like that CZ75 round, that weird force that they had, was one of their most promising. They got down to a 1 versus 1, good amount of economic damage onto the CTs as well, but it wasn't a round win, and really, that's what you need at this point. Septic, he's hungry for it, though. He's going to be going up Cat, and actually burns alive because of it. That's not a safe location. They're dropping like flies one by one here. Picky will get a nice consolation frag for his trouble and is actually gifted another because Davey, unfortunately, doesn't hit the shots that he needs. And what is Swisher looking at? I don't know what's going on right now. Eventually, things will conclude to a 1 versus 1 again. A lot more winnable. Sempis spotted the jump over. Frost AK has no clue on where Sempis is playing. Disaster hopefully won't strike Peaker's advantage. As Sempis slowly pushes up, misses the P250 shots, and that will allow Bushido boys to pick up a third after a nice 1 versus 2 from Frost AK. The first was a trade, the second was just well played. Sempis didn't use any of his utility, just went for the P250 kill to close things out. Because of that, we'll be gifted a third. But it's not all fantastic news for them. Because Bushido boys, if they lose this round here, they're going to be back at square one. Their money is not going to look pretty whatsoever. It's not fantastic on the CT side either, don't get me wrong, but they're at the very least going to be able to afford a healthy buy for this round. Can't exactly say the same for the CTs, though. A Galil on Zeptic. Shonk, I believe he could definitely buy AK full armor and some light utility if he wanted to. He's going to opt for a Galil, that way he can get a few more grenades, excuse me. But as a pause comes through, this is going to be a very important round for both teams here. If Peaker's advantage lose this one, surely they're going to be out of it for a good amount of time now. Initial pick will come through. Maui Snake has actually boosted up towards Cat. He's no longer in window, and he'll be gifted a frag, potentially. potentially. Or excuse me, gifted potentially second frag rather. He finds the first one, no trouble at all. Maui Snake, that aggressive cat push has been so good for him. That's why you always got to practice your movement, everybody. Because it ends up netting them a frag. Inching Peeker's advantage towards another round here. At the very least, they've secured an 8-7 half, but Peeker's advantage, they're hungry for more, and they're on the verge of doing it, in fact. Bushido boys, it's a slow death, it feels like. As Sempis spots one. Oh my god, he's going for such an aggressive pick on this. He'll back off his position. But here comes a push out from Bushido boys here. It's going to be relatively healthy from them as well. They have plenty of grenades to work with as well. First face will be Cutler, who actually picks up a double. I can't believe he's actually stayed alive for right now. Frost AK has yet to trade it out and most likely will never have the chance to. It's a 2-on-5 and they're not having any luck whatsoever. Semphis picks up another one. It's just bad news bears for Bushido boys as they drop like flies, leaving it up to Froste. He's gone massive so far. He was one of my heroes to watch on Overpass, but he'll have no such luck. Bad smoke, easy op kill, good casting. Hey, thanks Chuck, I appreciate you. Gotta keep up more of this though. Gotta always practice your casting. It's a discipline. And with that, Peeker's advantage have officially secured, at the very least, a 9-6 half. But they're primed to take even more at this point because, again, Bushido boys don't have a lot of money to work with here. Maui Snake eats a nice... Wait, did that grenade smoke miss? Because... Oh, I love that. Not only did that window smoke miss because Maui Snake intercepted it midair, but he's also had a very strong position. It's just salt in the wound at that point for Bushido boys as they have almost nothing favorable working out. On this eco round, Maui Snake just dismantles them. That AWP is so good in his hands. Frost AK tosses out nice Molotov to ward off any players coming from underpass, but really, Bushido boys are just out of this completely. Swisher picks up one. Picky is going to have to go massive or go home. And it seems like he is homebound because he drops Peeker's advantage, make it a double digits on the CT side of Mirage here. The real Zeus TTV, the first map was won by Bushido boys 16-10. It was Overpass. Which was, interestingly enough, the map pick of Peeker's advantage. They seem to be struggling a lot this time around, Bushido boys. Swisher, I like that though. Early Molotov through. They're most likely going to be doing that to deny an early smoke over towards window. Make them a little more scared, trying to peek out of it, and Semphis will gladly go ahead and reciprocate. A little bit of bullet time at mid. But it's safe positions across the board from the T's. They seem to gather up a little over towards mid. You see two of them have made it past those mid boxes. Frost AK, go ahead, toss the smoke over towards jungle, I believe that is. Frost AK with the window. And a nice flash for a cat as well. Maui Snake has completely changed his position up. This time he's gone over towards the A site. Interestingly enough. And Semphis getting boosted, or excuse me, boosting his teammate in Swisher. Doesn't find anything, nearly gets traded out actually, so it's almost a worrying prospect for them. Cutler playing with fire here. Meets Zeptic, but doesn't try to capitalize on the kill whatsoever here. We're still at a standstill as we enter the 45-second mark. Still a kill to go the way of either team. Surely their fortune is going to change soon here because Frost AK is in such a strong spot over by Connector. Easily dismantles of one. Maui Snake falls as well. And this is starting to look good for Bushido boys. It's taken a while for them to actually start to show signs of life on the T side here, but it's quickly whittled away in a moment's notice as Davey's able to spray through the smoke and find one, nearly a second one as well. He tags a good amount of health outside of one of the T's here, and now Bushido boys are in a very strange position right now. Oh my god, they dropped Frost A. I didn't think this was going to be a round win for Peeker's advantage, which inching ever closer and closer to being one here. Semphis goes ahead, quickly dismantles of the bomb planter, and that's it. It's just the end of the line for Jonah P here. He makes it down to a 1 versus 1 at the very bitter end of things, but it's nothing more than a bittersweet ending as Peeker's advantage now go up on 11, winning that round by the skin of their teeth, it felt like. Winning so many favorable duels at the end of that one. that position in apartment, or excuse me, towards Palace was just so strong. Bushido boys could do absolutely nothing about it. They're just being pushed from every direction, it felt like. They are looking prime now. Bushido boys force up everything they got here. Jonah P is going to be forcing out over towards mid. Maui's position is given up, but they're not ready for the double commit, that AWP over towards mid, and Jonah P loses his life as soon as he tries to evade the Maui snake. Sempis, good position over towards connector. Unfortunately, doesn't bear any fruits for them. But Cutler, the triple op setup is so damn strong for Peaker's advantage right now. They found all the kills, and in fact, they'll find every single one of them. Unbelievable. Where was this Peaker's advantage in the first half? Because they seem indomitable right now. 3 op spot into round number 15 and 5 kills found with all of them. You can't think of a better way to BM your way out of that first half. As Peaker's advantage, they go up 12-3. A starkly different form than what we're seeing on Overpass. Bushido boys, it's hard really to understate how much they struggled on that one. I think the most telling round of that half that perfectly sums up how they were doing is how Bushido boys, when they managed to take the A bomb site, couple rounds back, they struggled to get the bomb down. Sempis, I believe it was, stuck in Palace that entire time, just survived for so damn long and ended up being the last player remaining on his team. They played timeout, and Jonah P could do nothing about it. It's just, that slower pace seems to be absolutely brutalizing for Bushido boys. Time not in their favor whatsoever. They'll have their chance to play on the CTs, though. This is a map pick of Bushido boys. I have not been convinced whatsoever by what they posted and showed me on the tees. Maybe they have some incredible setups that we're just not aware of. Both teams will take a moment to talk about things. In case you guys are just tuning in, the score is currently 1-0 in favor of the boys, as they took over past 16-10. However, no such luck this time around. Peaker's advantage have already done much better. Only needing 4 more rounds to bring this to map number 3, which in that case, both teams will have so much to play for. Considering Peaker's advantage, they have their backs against the wall right now. It's this or they're facing relegation into advanced. They're playing pretty damn well. I wasn't convinced on their overpass whatsoever, but they seem to be showing a new side of them that wasn't seen before. Halftime still going through. Guess if you guys have any questions, I have to go. Really oh, thank you so much, Boner Commander. That's actually one of the sweetest things I've heard in a long time. Thank you so much, Boner Commander. I really appreciate that. I hope you have a good night, and thanks for coming out, man. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you later, hopefully. Thank you so much. Seriously, that means a lot to me. I guess while we wait, if you guys have any questions, I can go ahead and answer them. Otherwise, I'm just going to take a quick look at the stats and see who's topping the scoreboard. Right now, I would have to guess it's Maui Snake, but I might be wrong on that. Oh my lord, Maui Snake? He's currently sitting at 20-6 with 143 ADR right now. He has 26 RWS. That's unbelievable. Hey, Boner Commander, have a good one, all right? And thanks for saying you'll come back. Hope to see you around soon. As we enter the second half here, Peaker's advantage firmly in the driver's seat here. Only need 4 more rounds to close things out here. Bushido boys definitely on the back foot. Hope to change their fortune on the CT side here. Will be interesting setup. Triple towards B, 1 player over towards mid and Jonah. And this seems like a very strong counter strat from Bushido boys here. It's not something you see often, but it might have worked out in their favor. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't seem to be that way in the end, though. As you see, Sempis, bomb in hand, has made his way in towards Palace. Am I a freelance caster? Yes, I am. I am a freelance caster. I am just trying to do all the games I can get my possible hands on. And I work with only open IPs, because I have not been hit up by anyone just yet. Speaking of hit up, Swisher has yet to hit up anyone with that deagle. They make their way onto the A bomb site for free regardless here. One player, Frost AK, will back off his position. So passive into CT. That's a free bomb play. It's a 5 versus 5 as we enter this post plant. Swisher finally gets a nice point of contact onto one player. That's Picky going down, and Swisher can do even better. He picks up a double before falling in the very end of things, but this is so strong. Now for Peaker's advantage, excuse me, because they're struggling to find all the shots, and when they do, they're just coming out in spades. Unbelievable heroics from them. Peaker's advantage are running away with Mirage right now. Oh, but Picky, he's going to be going for something heroic here. He's on the bomb. Oh my god. Oh my god. He actually gets it in the end. The knife from Maui Snake is just too late. Oh my god. It's such a weird round, but Bushido boys, despite having everything just going against them, they end up just sticking the bomb. And that's, you know, it's the best remedy to stem their pain that they were having in that pistol round. Bushido boys, they're down, but not out of it just yet. They show a little bit of life towards the very end of things as a ninja defuse kicks off the start of their CT half here. Peaker's advantage. They'll force up everything they got into this. They know they have a very strong chance now to break the economy of the CT side here. And they're going to go ahead, bring out all the big guns, sometimes literally here. You see Maui Snake. He's absolutely stacked right now. AK-47, strong util, half armor. That's the only worrying prospect in this, is that he has half armor. Bomb is down T-spawn. Peaker's advantage surely will be able to pick that up and go wherever they like with it, because they have a lot of map control. Speaking of map control, look at this position from Swisher. This is unbelievable. He's just going to be gifted a free frag onto Jonah P. Unfortunately, he chokes it away. That deagle... It's a finicky beast. Isn't able to tame it the way he wants. But Cutler is still a presence on this map, though. Shonk, he finds another kill and actually doubles up. Takes down Semphis as well. Cutler's still in the back line, though. Will have to go massive to keep his team in this one, because Maui Snake, he's over towards A ramp. Yeah, he's just going to be overwhelmed. That even made me, have a jump scare. It's go big or go home, but it's looking a lot like the latter. As the time starts slowly ticking down for Cutler, and he doesn't even win that first fight of the 5 that he needed to take. Septic will close it out. He's had a slow game. He ended Overpass on fire. He got a 1 versus 3 clutch. Close things out, but definitely has been having a slower game this time around, sitting at 4 and 15, but there's still plenty of chances for him to get back into this. By all means. Maui Snake going to try his luck at the deagle. Doesn't seem to be in favor this time around as he's stuck on 18 HP very early on. Lots of flashes, lots of nades come through with a counter from the CTs. Picky's in a strong position to line his pockets a little bit more. You see Zeptic going for the jump peak. That's actually giving away his position to the T's, and that might be exactly what Bushido boys need to get their game firmly back in their hands here, because Picky, he's only managed to find one. He's getting spammed through the wall. Davey is just toying with his food right now, giving the T's plenty of time to work with. Picky turns around at just the last moment. Finally, will go down at the end of that ordeal. Maui Snake, no such luck in that deagle duel. And, well, it's going to have to be Swisher pulling out all the stops here. He's found 3 kills so far. He's already done fantastic work for his team, but 2 more, too tall of an order for him. That's another defuse going the way of them. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. A secure round for Bushido boys as they make it 6. It's not as convincing as you would have hoped, but I feel it's not the end of the world for them because they managed to get an AK out of the hand of Maui Snake in particular, and really they just have so much money, Peaker's advantage, that they can still buy into this one again. Real Zeus TTV, you got the You guys are so sweet. Thank you guys so much. Zeus, that means the world to me. You guys have been so kind. I really appreciate all the support. I only hope for greater things. I just need to keep on working on my form and I'll get better and better. I know that. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of if, not when. It's a matter of if Jonah P will keep getting these kills here, because they're just walking into his crosshairs, it feels like. Picks up 1 for free. Doesn't quite double up just yet, but he's not out of the round yet. Peaker's advantage solidly on the back foot as they don't even have the bomb in their hands to work with. It gets harder and harder as time goes on. But with time, better form. Jonah, nice grenade out. Actually, tanks Maui down only to 86. Not as big as I would have thought, but still that puts him within one-shot range of that M4, which is definitely something of note. Cutler, boosted up through window, is quickly spotted out by Frost AK. Heads up play by the man. Now Snake will now change his sights over towards the A site. But Frost AK, I think information has been gotten from his teammate. Jonah P is, oh yeah, that gun barrel has been spotted. That puts a very strong marker on Maui Snake's body. And he will be not falling, excuse me. He actually struggled to get the kill. Jonah P luckily makes up for it by avenging his teammate in the very end of things, and it's just a flurry of frags at the last possible moment to keep Peaker's advantage healthy. Or excuse me, Bushido BOYZ healthy. Otherwise, that round could have possibly gone awry. Things are kept sane, though, as Bushido BOYZ start clawing their way back just a little bit on the CT. Round 20 underway. Jonah P going to try his luck over towards mid again. The luck of the draw isn't going to even be considered. It seems like the T's just want to set up for a nice, strong execute onto the A site. There's the first smoke going through, with others coming in right behind it. Here comes the execute, where Swisher will be leading the charge for his teammate. Has yet to spot anyone just yet, but that smoke going through he knows now that there's one player over towards stairs. They're kissing in the smoke, but it turns out to be a backstab in the end. Swisher comes out on top of that one. Peaker's advantage. They are looking prime now. This is more like it. Jonah P, even though he's able to get a kill in return, still this favors Peaker's advantage though. They can set up into healthy positions as we enter the post point here, but they're not winning the gunfights that they need. Oh, it's a disaster for them. Davey, he's going for the long con. Maui Snake is trying to do the same, but they're already on the bomb here. It's going to be a 10-second defuse, but it's a defuse that they're going to get nonetheless here as Maui Snake drops. Davey is nowhere to be found. He's MIA, and he is not going to find anything. Interestingly enough, though, he finds a kill at the very end of things. Arkavalka. I feel like I completely messed up your name, but thank you so much. You guys are just actually so nice to me. Thank you. I really appreciate everything. This really means the world to me. So thank you guys so much for being really important to me. I really appreciate it, and I hope to do even better for you guys. Enough emotional labor for right now. Let's go ahead and get back into the action of things, why don't we? Peaker's advantage. They're not looking great here. You see Swisher and Davey, more importantly, are very, very low on health. Rotates come through from the CT side. C2 players grouped up over towards the middle. They seem to want to make their way over through connector. But Bushido BOYZ are playing this very, very safe here. They don't want to try to push any advantages that they don't know that they already have. Sempis takes all the space that he possibly can. He will now be met with his first challenge in the form of Frost AK, who's sitting behind the CT smoke. Shank will be there to pick up the slack in case things go awry, but that might not be necessary whatsoever. Jonah P is able to find the first point of contact here, but unfortunately for Zeptic, the good news ends there as he falls almost immediately afterwards. A quick response allows Peaker's advantage to have a little more life back into this. Shank still perfect on the draw though. Takes down one more player. As the execute begins over towards A, the bomb is in Palace right now. And he's only on 4 HP as well. And their luck ends right about there. Cutler and Davey, 28 HP combined between the two veteran CS players, will now have to do it all in order to secure this round for their team. But it's not looking favorable by any stretch of the imagination. And their luck ends right there. Davey falls, Cutler alone, 1 on 3. And he can't even find the first. It's another round going with Bushido BOYZ, and they've looked incredible on the CT side so far. Gun rounds galore for them here as they have securely found their way. Peaker's advantage yet to post a single round this half. Bushido BOYZ 6. but they still have not closed that massive gap, that massive lead that they had. So they're still not out of it just yet. Smoke from window comes through. Jonah P. towards B site. Shock, meanwhile, is going to go ahead, try to step up to the batter's plate as he pushes through that smoke at mid. Realizes that it's probably a bit too risky to go for that, so he'll instead stay on the edge of things before backing off entirely here. But Jonah P, he's got so much information from this position. He can see anyone coming up through underpass over to try to prod B. And that could allow some rotations to come over from the Bushido boys, which indeed they are happening, just as I say that. Picky, stuck under Palace, does not quite spot one. On the edge of the smoke, he spots Swisher and takes him out just as easily. Septic. Oh my god, Maui Snake wins that duel. That's unbelievable, but luckily for Bushido boys, they're kept saying otherwise. Maui Snake, he's doing all that he possibly can. He's hitting gorgeous shot after gorgeous shot, but his team just doesn't seem to pick up the slack alongside him. Zeptic gets put down at last. And this is starting to be a changing of the seasons for Bushido boys here, as they've been flawless so far in the CT half, despite the best heroics of Maui Snake as well as everybody else on Peaker's advantage. They don't seem to be able to garner together the rounds that they definitely need to keep their way to secure that lead that they had. Davey is going to have to pull off something magical with 20 seconds, but he won't even bother. Will die before time, so at least gets a little bit of money to work with here. The money's starting to pile up for Peaker's advantage, don't get me wrong. But it's a bittersweet feeling because you haven't garnered any rounds still. Bushido boys looking fine. And a tactical pause is actually going to be called. 10 to 12. Bushido boys are inching ever closer to closing this gap. And this has started to get a little bit scary. Peaker's advantage, you put up something indomitable on the T side, or on the CT side. But they've been completely quiet as the terrorists. Immediately, you see Peaker's advantage are going for a little bit of a Hail Mary here. Again, they have money to work with here. That's probably their least of their issues right now. Maui Snake has picked up the sniper, and he's going to have to work magic with it, because Jonah P, and, I mean, really it's anyone who has even bothered to take it out mid, has been able to come out on top. Where are you going with that? Maui Snake. Snake, guys, call him Maui Snake. Maui Snake is actually going to bring the sniper over towards B for an early pick. Unfortunately, all he's going to get is a bunch of fire damage plus his inevitable death. Oh, that is terrible news for Peaker's advantage. It's bad headline after bad headline for them as they drop a player early on in this round, and they're just going to go ahead and try to up the ante, at least try to force an uncomfortable situation for the CTs here, but they're not winning any of the duels that they need. And because of that, they're just going to walk into the loving arms of the Bushido boys. They drop, and there's no response, nothing from Peaker's advantage. They all fall down. It's just a domino effect of death for them. Bushido boys, it's unbelievable how close they have made this on the CT side. This is a CT-sided map, yes, but not this much. 8-0 without more than a whisper from Peaker's advantage. This is unbelievable. Voter Commander, I'm glad to see you're still here. Peaker's advantage. They have struggled a lot on the T side, so you might be in for a game here. They seem to have a little bit better form early on, though. As you see, well, that's actually all whittled away just like that. 2 players down. How about you add a third? Maui Snake, you're not going to go ahead and have a chance in this round. No more heroics from you. You can top the scoreboard all you want, but he's quiet nonetheless. Cutler, Sempis, 105 HP in between the two. Sempis, plenty of nades, not a lot of HP. Cutler, complete different story for him. Opposite story, in fact. These are 2 vets, though, but neither of them have a shot, it seems. Jonah P takes a shot, takes him down. Sempis alone. Feel like it's just nothing but lonely situation after lonely situation. Sempis feels like he's just tabbed out right now. What is he doing? Okay, he's back. Well, he's made a shot, and now everybody in the entire world, it feels like, knows his position. Flash out mid, just to scare Sempis a little. He's dangerously low on health. His best bet would just be trying to save this gun, but I'm not even sure if he'll be given that chance. They're searching for him. They're hungry for this. There's no reason for Bushido boys not to. They have so much money. It's just flex money at this point. Semphis hears a bunch of footsteps. Nice Molotov out. Unfortunately, it's just off the mark. If that molly came out 10 seconds ago, that would have been lethal. But this time, it's nothing. Semphis, unfortunately, gives up his life at the last possible moments of Bushido boys. Post up another flawless round and tie things up on Mirage here. I didn't think I'd be uttering those words, but it's 12-12. 9-0 start for Bushido boys. I won't even say start. 9-0 so far on the CT side. Unbelievably indomitable right now for the boys as they want that MDL spot back. Both of the teams are playing for relegation at this point. Whoever loses this matchup will be going back to advance. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's do or die. It looks like Peaker's Advantage have had an awful lot of dying these past couple rounds. Bushido boys have yet to drop a player recently. I mean, he has to die on purpose if you... yeah, true. I just figured he could have gotten away with that AK, in all honesty. Peaker's Advantage, no such luck on this round either. Again, it's just... you know, they're falling like dominoes here. It's one kill for Semphis. That's nice, but your luck ends there. Zeptic actually aces on my team. See that? Zeptic, nice ace, man. I wish I paid a little more attention to that, but hey, that's eco kills for you. Why not pad the stats while you're at it? Remember how I said this guy was 4-16? This is why I said not to worry. He's now sitting at 15-19. He is doing just fine now. Swisher, though, he was my player to watch heading into Mirage. And not quite the same performance that we saw from him on Overpass. 6-10. Actually, wait, no, he joined mid-server, or excuse me, joined mid-game, so that's not actually true. I'll actually have to check the ESEA stats for that one. Another day, another round for Peaker's Advantage here. Oh my god, Swisher. He was gifted that frag practically as Jonah P flies a bit too close to the sun and loses his life while trying to go for something heroic. But heroic is not what Bushido boys need right now. What they need is secure round wins, secure duels just like that, and you're getting every single one that you could possibly hope for. It's a 3 versus 2, made just a little more palatable by the two players on Peaker's Advantage, but it's still nothing but Bushido boys right now. This is insane. It's flawless. It's just unbelievable. Bushido boys have still yet to drop around in the CT. This is why it was their map pick. I can completely see now. Because I was not sold on their T side as well, but apparently they have just the most indomitable CT to ever exist. Jonah P, why not just rub salt in the wound? Why don't you take down Swisher just like that? 4 versus 5. Peaker's Advantage, no utility to speak of here. What are you going to do if you can't even execute onto his site without any grenades? Davey tries to go for a miracle, but gets naded down as he tries it. Shunk takes down Maui Snake as well. He's been the hero of this game. Luckily, the picks actually seem to be going relatively well. The trade, rather, I should say, seem to be going relatively well for Peaker's Advantage. But their luck ends there as Davey falls. And yeah, exactly. Like, Mirage is CT side, but not this CT sided. This is just a bloodbath. This is a slaughter, one by one. Bushido boys. It's unbelievable. They've gotten to 15. They are on the point of knocking out Peaker's Advantage. Say goodbye to your MDL spot and say hello to Advance, because Bushido boys, they want that spot from you. 3 rounds is all that Peaker's Advantage needed to force overtime, and 4 is what they need to win the game. They have not reached either of those goals. Jonah P, unbelievable. Picks up one right off the bat. Quickly traded out by Semphis. He's been the hero of these past couple rounds. I was singing the praises of Peaker's Advantage for so long, but they've stopped singing. They've gone quiet. And, well, I mean, the picks can come through, but they're quickly traded out. And that's what makes these feelings so bittersweet. It's that they can find all the kills they want, but they're all for naught. Maui Snake, Cutler falls. Maui Snake alone. He's been godlike this entire game. But it's time for the god to meet a non-believer. 1 on 3. we're going to have to see the Zeptic treatment, as we saw last game on Overpass. Maui Sneak, he has impressed me over and over again, but this is too much. A double peek out connector. Oh my god, doesn't actually spell at the end of his life. I was ready to call it quits for them. But he has actually found an inning into this. Going to the very end of this. Maui Snake, no chance. You had me scared. You had my heart beating for a while, but it's going to be a flawless CT half for Bushido Boys as they completely obliterate Peaker's advantage on the CT side of Mirage. That is what we call dominance in every single sense of the word. I had no clue like their CT setups were that strong. That is unbelievable. Well, with that, Bushido Boys have officially made their way back into ESEA Advanced. Congratulations to them. Peaker's advantage, unfortunately, will be moving back to Advanced. Wait, did I say Bushido Boys made to Advanced? I meant they made back into MDL, excuse me. It's been a long day. But Peaker's advantage have been relegated to ESEA Advanced as a result. I believe with that, I am going to go ahead and call it for tonight. I kind of did this match on a whim. I was not expecting to cast, but I'm kind of glad I did because we saw some very fun CSGO. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name has been Ito. I'll answer questions for a few more minutes before I head and turn the stream off, but let me know if you guys need anything else. And thank you guys so much again for all the support. You guys have been incredible. Okay, music's a bit too loud. But let me guys know if you need anything else. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Get some much needed rest. And hey, if you guys have a Twitch Prime, don't be afraid to drop that on me if you guys want an emo. Otherwise, have a good night. Stay healthy, stay safe, and thank you for coming out and making my day.